Hi and welcome to the vlog. This is a long overdue perimenopause update. I went, let's see, where are we? It is getting towards the end of January and I started HRT at the end of June, so 7 months ago. Only been 7 months, wow. In a way it feels like a lot longer because actually so much has happened and so much has changed. So when I started, the reason I went on HRT was because my brain fog and my anger were unmanageable. They were the things that really kind of gave me that kick up the butt to go and see a doctor and do something about all this. But I also had severe anxiety that didn't feel like usual depression and anxiety disorder, if that makes any sense. I had very, very dry and thick skin. I described as lizard skin, like I could scratch my legs and sort of make gouges in my legs when I scratched them. Thin and drying hair, dry skin, dry eyes. I'm trying to think back now what other symptoms I was really struggling with. Night sweats. I had really severe night sweats and could basically go to sleep and then wake up a couple of hours later feeling like I was lying in a bath or lying in a wet puddle because it was that bad. Anything else? Am I forgetting something? I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Brain fog, right? But my brain fog was insane. So I'd just been promoted at work and I had so much that I needed to learn and pick up on. And people could start a sentence and 5 words into the sentence, I could not remember where it started. Like, I could not process information. It was really frustrating and I felt so stupid. I felt like I was absolutely losing my mind because I actually pride myself on being a rather intelligent woman and on my brain power, my ability to reason, and all of that was completely and utterly gone. And I mean, this is funny now, but it certainly wasn't funny then. In the month of June, I managed to lose my car keys between unlocking the door and sitting down 6 times in 1 month. I would lose them. I would have to spend minutes and minutes looking for them before I could find them again. And it was never the same thing. It wasn't like I absent-mindedly just put them in my bag. They were all over the place. It is funny now, but it was certainly not funny then. And I forgot Elin's medicines, which, you know, is kind of dangerous. Yeah. So the brain fog, I was really, really, really struggling with. And my anger, because my anger went out over my kids. I was exploding. I couldn't control my mood. And that, I really did not like that. I did not like that it went out over them. That was so not good. I actually feel like sort of my biggest problem with my perimenopause journey, symptom-wise, has been the mental and emotional symptoms. I've not liked the anxiety. It has had effects like making me very cautious when it comes to conflict. I really don't like conflict. I'm not saying no, or I'm not setting boundaries because of it. And even though we're now 7 months into my journey of taking HRT, I still feel like I have hang-ups here. Like there's still a lot that I need to work on to regain confidence in myself. I lost a lot of confidence through my perimenopause before I started treating for it. And of course, I wasn't expecting the HRT to be sort of a completely and utterly magical happy pill and everything was going to be perfect going forwards forevermore. I think I have a lot of self-coaching to do and a lot of reconnecting with my central nervous system and working out you know, who I am and who I want this middle-aged Tova to be. However, one amazing thing that has happened since starting with the HRT is that I now feel capable of doing that. I feel like it's going to be possible. I can connect to that person. I can do this work. I have got the energy for it again. And talking of energy, I was very much lacking in energy. And, you know, my get up and go had got up and gone, I think it's fair to say. Now, what colours am I using today? Let's go with grey. Let's go with this brush. And so I started on HRT, and the first form of HRT I went on was combined estrogen and progesterone patches. So that was 2 weeks worth of patches with estrogen only, and then 2 weeks worth of patches with estrogen and a form of progesterone, a synthetic progesterone. And I mean, the effect was almost immediate. We're talking days, and I started feeling better, which was just mind-blowing how quick that was, how just, yeah, how just immediately I was feeling so different. But after 2 months, I switched up because I didn't like the patches. The patches were itchy, and they left sort of dark frames around where the patch had been of glued in fluff, and I really did not get on with that. And so I went on to the estrogen gel and the Utrogestan progesterone. And this is a bioidentical progesterone. This is a bioidentical estrogen. That doesn't mean that they're taken from people, but it means that the molecular structure is the same. Estrogen is made from yams, by the way. And I'm getting on a lot better with that. Much, much, much better with that. I did, however, have to increase my dose of estrogen because I absorb less of this than I did of the patches. But that's fine. I mean, I take 3 pumps of this, whereas the same dose would have been 2 pumps. I feel like I'm getting on really well with it. The progesterone I take, well, so for 2 weeks, it's the estrogen gel only, and then for 2 weeks is the progesterone and the estrogen. And for those 2 weeks that I have the progesterone as well, I sleep like an absolute baby. I sleep so well on the progesterone. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Can I take it all the time just so I get this level of sleep, please? Over these 7 months then that I have been on HRT, what has happened and what has possibly not happened, really? My energy is so much better. Like, I had energy to do Vlogmas, and trust me, that was intense. It was really intense. I had days when I was recording 3-4 vlogs and editing and looking after my kids, and I had the energy to do it. I didn't burn myself out during that time. I've had get up and go to do things with my kids, the will to do things with my kids, and yeah, much more energy for work, much more energy for things around. I've started deep cleaning my house. I've mentioned this in other vlogs that I'm cleaning away years of depression from my home, and it feels amazing. I've started a little bit of decluttering. I need to get rid of so much stuff because I just feel like I'm surrounded by things that we're not using or that are broken and just needs getting rid of. Or for some reason, I have a collection of wine bottles. I don't even drink wine, but I have bottles and bottles and bottles of it. And I don't know why, so I'm just going to donate the stuff. I have much less anxiety now than I used to have. My anxiety made me very people-phobic. I didn't want to be around people, and having to go out and face people left me absolutely exhausted. And that has improved no end. I can go out, I can spend hours in a shopping centre and come home and still have energy to get on and do stuff. I can manage my weekly shop without being a little shaking wet puddle afterwards. So huge, huge improvements there. I find it much easier to control my anger. There are still times when I get really angry, but now it's more like, rather than it being uncontrollable and I'm having to scream because there is no other way of dealing with it, I might now choose to scream because actually I think it's healthy to be angry at times. Or I choose to cope with it in a much better way and kind of take a deep breath and go, oh, well, it is what it is. Let's get on with life. And as far as the brain fog goes, wow. I definitely feel like my brain is starting to get back on track. I seem to struggle to get the girls off to their dads on time in the morning, off to school transport and school on time in the morning, but I'm getting better. Last time I did it, we were actually on time. We were not only on time, we were early. And I don't seem to be forgetting as many things. I can take on board information that's given to me at work and utilize it and put it into practice. I am learning a lot of stuff again, just for fun. Gotten very, very, very into picking up stuff about the Viking Age and being super interested in that part of my history, and I'm remembering the old sagas and I can retell them to Alice, and yeah, so, you know, really exciting. I feel like my brain is back on track. So that is a lot of amazing things that have happened over the last 7 months in terms of being on the HRT and just feeling unbelievably much better about things. My skin is better. I don't have that sort of flakiness and lizard skin on my legs as I used to complain about. My hair is still an absolute mess. I am not friends with my hair at all. It is still dry, it is still brittle, it is thin, I am losing hair. I have all these sort of short little bitty bits that are growing out of it because I've lost so much, and then there's regrowth, and I had to stop bleaching it, so I had to stop being the super white blonde mother of dragon that I really, really loved. And I've had to go back to something that is much closer to my natural hair colour. And I don't know, with this light, really, it's going to be interesting to see what this looks like on camera, but there is a fair amount of grey coming through at my temples, and I really love that grey colour. It's a beautiful light silver, and if only more of my hair would be that grey, then I would go grey in a heartbeat, because I really like it. I think sort of to here, you have relatively healthy hair. You can see a little bit of my natural hair, and then a toner I have on top of it, and then everything from there and out is the hair that used to be bleached, and that is quite dry and could really do with another trim. But also looking back on it, it's about 6 months ago that I cut away a lot of the damaged hair and went darker in order to try and let it recover, and it was really quite short, so it's grown a lot, which is encouraging. And the thing that I have to keep remembering is that it's been several years of me damaging my hair and of the, losing hair due to falling estrogen levels, and I need to give it a few years to recover, and I don't want to. I want to have long, thick, beautiful hair. But I've started using these products in the hope that is going to help me recover. So this is a scalp tonic, and I thought that could be really good just to boost the scalp, because that's obviously where hair growth starts. This is a protein treatment and heat protector, so for any sort of any styling with heat that I'm using to try and protect it. And then my hair texture is really weird, and I don't quite understand it. But at the moment, it's sort of fairly straight because I've blow dried it straight. But if I let it dry naturally, it's sort of kinky and wavy. But the hairs right around my face are not as wavy as the hairs at the back of my head, and right in the nape of my neck, I get proper corkscrews. So yeah, God knows what's going on with that. I'm trying to use sort of something approaching the curly girl method, to encourage the natural waves, and sometimes it looks amazing and sometimes it just there. I think my hair is so meh. Gotta be honest with you, I am this close to a pixie cut. Just kind of peel it all off and start again. But if I do that, I won't be able to braid it or put it up, and there's a lot of styling that goes into having very short hair, which I'm not a big fan of. So what am I going to do with it today? It's quite clean. It actually looks all right today, so I might leave it like this. Night sweats. I still get them, but I get less. Much, much, much less of them now. So that's good. I have lost a lot of weight. And this I don't think is down to perimenopause, or it's not solely down to perimenopause. Partially, I am of a body type that resorts to weight loss. That's where my body goes. And I think this is part of living with an overactive thyroid condition. When I'm in stress, you know, whether that be outside stress or internal stress, my body loses weight. And on top of that, it is a couple of years ago now, but before I got the job I've got now, I was actually incredibly poor, and I resorted to food banks in order to feed my children, and I wasn't eating as much myself. So that obviously set off quite a significant weight loss. And now the job I'm doing is physically extremely active. I take over 30,000 steps a day. I lift heavy, and not having an extra car means that after I've dropped the girls off with their dad, the van stays there because Elin's going to stay there. So I either have to take a 45-minute walk home or jump on the bike for 20 minutes. So there's way more exercise than I necessarily feel that I need. Yeah, I am much skinnier than I like. I would like to be at least one size bigger than I am now, because I feel healthier when I'm stronger. I'm in less pain when I'm bigger. And yeah, but also with the way my life is right now, weight gain is a challenge. It's not just a question of, I'm gonna eat some more. I have half an hour break at work if I'm on a long enough shift. So if I'm on a 10-hour shift, I have half an hour break. That's not really enough to eat enough. But ultimately, I think in the long run, with feeling emotionally much more stable and feeling physically much more energetic thanks to the HRT, I will slowly, very slowly, but still start putting some weight back on. At least that's the hope. I'm at a point now with my GP surgery that I don't need to go in every 3 months and talk to them about how things are going anymore. They are putting my HRT prescription on repeat, which again is amazing. So it has a date limit on it to when I'm allowed to order my repeat prescription, but it's only a few more days and then I can order my repeat and I don't have to go in and speak to somebody. I think we're going to go to annual checkups, which suits me very well. I can definitely manage my own medications, and I prefer to do it that way and kind of be the boss of my own dose, because I know I can do it. When I started on the gel and I realized that my symptoms were coming back, I just increased the dose with one extra pump and symptoms immediately improved. So then I went in to speak to the GP and told her what I'd been doing, and she was like, great, absolutely, that was the perfect thing to do. I am curious about what testosterone could do for me, but I also don't really feel like I have to rush out and find yet another answer, at least not right now. I want to do more research into it and possibly have a few more conversations. One of the women's health specialist doctors at my surgery I spoke to, she's not keen on testosterone. She doesn't believe in it. She thinks it's unnecessary. I don't know what the stance of the other women's health doctors there are. It's amazing. There's 3 of them at my GP surgery. I keep hearing that this is so hard to come by and that women are really struggling to find doctors who understand them and listen to them and prescribe this. And I'm with a surgery that has 3 specialists, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, where I'm thinking that testosterone could be interesting is, mostly it is sort of seen as a helping with sex drive. And that is not an area that worries me, but it can also help with stabilizing the mood. And as I say, I do still get very angry, and I do at times get very anxious, nowhere near as much as I used to, but it still happens. So that's an area where I think it might be of interest. And I'm wondering if testosterone might ultimately help me to gain some weight. But I don't know. And I'm not ready to make that decision yet because I've not read up on it enough. I have finally spoken with my endocrinologist about this, and she is extremely positive towards me being on HRT despite me living with an overactive thyroid condition, and has said that it is absolutely the recommended route to go. If you're suffering from perimenopause symptoms, even if you do have a thyroid condition, HRT is what's recommended. And also because the thyroid, there's a lot of estrogen receptors in the thyroid. So if your estrogen levels are going crazy, that will ultimately affect how your thyroid works. So this will level things out overall. And that was also extremely reassuring. And now I've got an hour before I need to be at work. So I think that's my cue to turn the camera off and go and eat something and get ready for my day. Thanks for watching. See you again very soon. Bye.